Hey, it's Ethan here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Hollywood Racks Destination 4 bike rack on the back of our 2023 Cadillac XT4. As I said, this is a 4-bike platform style bike rack capable of supporting each bike up to 35 pounds. It's going to hold your bike primarily through the center mast and these padded clamps. So it does make frame contact with your bike, which is something to consider. If you want to use this for your carbon frame bikes, we definitely don't recommend it because it will have the potential to damage them while you're driving. But the cradle should help with alternative frame bikes, so those might work in this case as well. The rack doesn't tilt away, so in order to get into the back of our vehicle, we're going to have to get the bike off, which is a pretty straightforward process. Starting with the secondary points of contact, these straps that hold the wheels in place, just hit the gray release and pull the straps out. You'll notice that there are rubberized protectors to keep the wheels safe while you're moving, which is nice. But to get the actual bike off, try to get your arm around the actual bikes while you're doing it, because it will start to shift once the strap is loose. But the strap process is just the same as the other two. And once you have it off, you can get the bike up and over your center mast and away. With the bike off, I like to just replace the straps to make sure that they're not moving around while you're driving, because that can be annoying, could potentially hit the back of your car. As you can see, the frame itself is curved, so it does accommodate different size wheelbases up to 48 inches, and the cradles themselves hold tires up to 3 inches. But to get the center mast down, we'll loosen this hand knob until this catch plate is loose enough to get down, and you can move the mast either way. Cradles will tend to block things as you move, but once you get it down, you can actually use the cradle strap to hold it in place, or one of the straps of the cradles on the actual mast. Once you have the bike off, we can easily get into the back of our vehicle. Plenty of clearance, and once it's up, there is enough room to get back here and sit down, change your shoes, or get anything out of the back that you might need for your ride. If you were to live with the rack in this position, as you can see, it does take up quite a bit of space. To give you an idea of how much space it will actually be taking up, from the bumper to the furthest point back, comes in at about 38.5 inches, so it does stick out pretty substantially. And with this curved motion, the ground point can also be affected by the rack, and it'll come in at about 21.75 inches from this back tray here. So on the XT4, it still does sit pretty high, and ground clearance isn't something that I'm worried about. Luckily, this rack does offer the ability to fold up using this hand-threaded knob on the other side. We can just let that out and dangle, and then fold the rack up, and then replace it. You will have to sort of find where you can thread this back through, because it doesn't sit perfectly in there. But once you do, you just thread it back in, and now we can see how much distance we're going to add with it folded up. So from the bumper to the furthest point back now, probably just be down here. We come in at about 12.75 inches, so it does definitely save you some space on that end. As you can see, we get a little bit close here with some of the straps, but from the bumper to the closest point of the actual rack, not including the straps, you still have about 3 inches to work with. And it moves a little bit, but not enough that I'd be worried about it making contact with your vehicle. As you can see, because it does have the length to hold 4 bikes, it takes up a lot of space in the back of your vehicle. Your license plate is going to be pretty much completely obstructed, and your backup camera probably will be too. Additionally, out of the back, you'll probably be able to see the tallest points, but it doesn't take up a ton of visibility out of your back windshield. The shank is a 2-inch shank fit into our 2x2-inch receiver tube, held in place by this anti-rattle bolt, and the lock is included, which is a nice feature, and the anti-rattle bolt helps to take a lot of the shake and play out of the rack. Overall, if you're looking for a way to get 4 bikes where you need them to go, the Hollywood Racks Destination is a solid option. Personally, I might recommend looking into a hanging style rack like maybe the Curt Premium, just because if you're looking to get 4 bikes out, it's a good chance that it's going to be a family situation, and the Curt Premium does have a taper at the end to accommodate kids' bikes, and it takes up a little bit less space. But overall, the Hollywood Racks Destination is a nice choice and a solid fit on the 2023 Cadillac XT4.
Now we're going to go ahead and take it on our test course. First we'll start with the slaloms. This is going to show the side-to-side action. It's kind of going to mimic the movements that you'll see whenever you're driving down the road normally. Now we'll have the alternating speed bumps. This is going to be more so like the uneven roads and some of that uneven terrain you might be traveling on, and see how it holds up.